All right, so hello and welcome, my dear friends. I welcome you all back to All Aboard. So, yes, I hope every one of you is doing great, and a very warm good afternoon to everyone. A very warm good afternoon. So, firstly, one thing is that, my dear friends, the examination. Let's start with a positive thing that a positive affirmation that we shall work hard and we shall clear this examination. Okay, we shall clear the examinations in our first attempt itself. That means whichever attempt you might be giving, and the first attempt itself, that you shall clear your examination. So with this positive affirmation, we shall start the class. And here, my dear friends, let me just tell you, what are we trying to do here? The main agenda here is that you understand the mindset of the examination. And the today's topic, that is going to be the major tribes of the world, means it is the question, it is on the tribes. Now when we are talking on the tribes, the examination, they can ask you questions on the basis of two parameters. Here one is that they can ask you questions on the world level tribes, and another is that they can ask you question on the Indian tribes. Now when they have to ask you a question that is on the tribes, what are the different permutations and combinations in which they can ask the questions? What can be the particular parameters, or what can be the framing, or how can they frame the particular questions? That is the biggest dilemma of students. Now when we talk about this particular biggest dilemma of the students, so here what the examination does is, the examination can ask you the particular country or the state where they belong to. This generally all the aspirants do. But what are the other aspects the questions cannot be asked in the format is that, what are the characteristic features of these particular tribes? Means, what is, or where do they, or how do they stay, how do they live, what do they wear? In that particular context, it can be done. Pragya, actually, the aspect is that this I'll have to take it in complete English. That if I take it in both the languages, actually this is an English batch, I believe. Okay, so because it is an English batch, मैं वैसे तो मुझे यूज करने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है वैसा, बट पॉइंट यही है कि इधर जो रहेगा ना प्लेटफॉर्म थोड़ा इंग्लिश वाला है, तो उसके लिए इंग्लिश का। एंड वैसे भी इंग्लिश जो है, यू विल हैव टू, जब भी आप क्लियर करेंगे तो इंग्लिश तो होना ही है ना? तो इंग्लिश के ऊपर हमें थोड़ा ज़्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए, बिकॉज कोई भी आप एग्जामिनेशन दे दो, इंग्लिश इज समथिंग दैट इज देयर in the interviews or whatever, if the examinations that you are going to give, if that is going to have the interview stage, or if it does not have the interview stage, yet English becomes a very important thing. All right, so we shall be focusing on that. Okay, I will keep the English very much simple. Do not worry, I will keep it very much simple so that you can understand. Now, the another understanding that the examination can ask you questions is on the features of the tribes. That is one thing. Then here the examination can ask you that from the list of tribes, identify the odd man out. They can also do that. Or else they can say that from the list of tribes, match the following. They can also do that. So here different mechanisms or different methodologies can be used to ask the questions to you on the basis of tribes. So here we need to do the tribes in detail, and for your detailed understanding of the tribes, what I have done is I have added a list of tribes. Okay, means, see, world over, there are more than 200 tribes. But is it sheerly possible for us to remember all the 200 tribes? No. So because it is not sheerly possible to remember all the 200 tribes, what we need to do is, we need to we need to list out the important tribes, and we have to learn that. Now, how do we list out that important tribes? The first is that the tribe, they should be, in the current events. Now those things you will be understanding, but but what I would suggest is that whenever you are doing the current events, and whatever the list of tribes I have provided to you, okay, at the world and in the India, the Indian tribes, they are much more in detail, they are much more exhaustive content. But here, whenever you read the current affairs, from that current affairs, when you see that a particular country, it is in news, what can be done is that you can come back to this document, you can find the country that is there in the news, and you can find the tribes that belong to that particular country. Is there okay, there's a disturbance. Is there yet any disturbances there? Kindly let me know. Is there the disturbance yet? If yes, do let me know, so accordingly I'll just change it. Just let me know if there is a yet any disturbances there or no. Okay, it is yet there. Just a moment. Just give me a minute, my dear friends. Just give me a minute. Is my audio now proper? Is it proper? Kindly let me know, or else. Okay. Now kindly tell me if it is proper. If my audio is proper now. Now is it proper, my dear friends? Just let me know if it is proper now. All right. All right. Okay, then we'll continue it from here. Okay. 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 So then I'll take it from here. All right. So just a moment. Okay. So yes, then we'll take it. Now we'll start. Now, what is the main idea here is that what happened? All right. Okay. So then we'll start with it. Okay. Now, what was I telling is that here, here, whatever you are going to, whatever you are going to read in the current affairs, you come back to this list. You look at that which country is important. For example, the exam, your examinations. It can ask you questions pertaining to the, who are the Chakmas, the Chakma tribes. Everyone knows about the Rohingyas. Okay, but who are the Chakmas? So similarly, they can ask you the tribes that are going to be there at the world level. So whichever tribe, whichever areas are there in the news, you just come back to this particular document and you refer it. All right. I will get this document uploaded. Do not worry. I'll just get it uploaded in some time. Now, when I talk about the major tribes in the world, the first one is going to be the Inuit. Initially, they were known as Eskimos, and this particular Inuit, okay, their name has been changed from Eskimo to Inuit. Why? Because the Eskimos, the word itself was very much critical, the word itself was very much discriminatory. That is why it was changed. Where does this tribe belong to? It belongs to the colder areas. Now, in the colder areas means you just look at the polar areas. Okay, the polar areas, whichever countries are there in the polar areas, the Inuit tribes, they are going to belong to that particular areas. Okay, so the polar areas, just focus on that. Just imagine the map, or if you have the map, just look at the North Pole. So whichever countries will have the areas in the region of the North Pole, there you are going to find the Inuit. Now the most important thing for them, it is going to be their shelters, that is going to be igloos. Examination can ask you that the igloos are the shelters for which particular tribe. So it is for the Inuit tribe. Next one is going to be the Koryaks, and even this particular tribe, it is a cold tribe. Okay, now the examination can also ask you that from the following list of tribes, which resides in the colder region and which resides in the hotter region. So this is the most important probability. Okay, so also just remember that which tribe is residing in the cold. Now when I'm talking about Koryaks, even they are residing in the, means, in the tundra areas, that is below the North Pole, and even they are going to reside in the colder areas. So wherever they are going to reside in the colder areas, they are going to be totally associated with the geography of these colder areas. Means their habitat is going to include the food of the animals from these colder areas. Their habitat is going to include, their habitat is going to basically be dependent on the geography of these colder areas. For example, The these people, they are generally found in the Russia's far eastern area, which is again a colder area. And these people, they are very much well known for their reindeer herding. The reindeer, it is the animal of the cold areas. The reindeer, it is the animal of the particular. Then there is Inuits. Inuits, they are from Alaska, okay, and Kamchatka, they are from Russia. Now here, these particular people, they are, generally associated with the Aleutian Islands. Now just remember this. Here, the next one is going to be San. They were formerly known as Bushmen, and they are found in the Kalahari, Botswana, and the Namibia Desert. Now here, what do we understand is they are the world's oldest surviving cultures, and you need to remember them. Okay, Bushmen. The most important thing is that the examination will ask you that the Bushmen, they belong to which particular area. Okay, so they belong to the Kalahari area, so also remember that. The next one is going to be the Tuaregs. Okay, the Tuaregs, they belong to the Sahara area. Now the Tuaregs, they are the hot. Okay, they are going to be the tribes that reside in the hotter areas, so you also need to remember that. All right, so here I will tell you the important ones, which are the important ones and which you can actually study. Then there is going to be the Amazonian Indian tribes. This is the normal tribe, that is okay. This is important, my dear friends, that is the Pygmies. The Pygmies, they belong to the Congo basin. Here you need to go through this particular tribe. Apart from that, apart from that, okay, I'll just tell me, guys, can you guys do this? Then we'll focus on the Indian ones. Guys, tell me, can you guys do these particular tries, because it is a fully factual one. Okay, it is a 4-pager document that I've created, and here you are going to find all the major tribes that are generally there, and the other probabilities in which the examination can ask the questions. Okay, so what I believe is that you can basically do this particular document, and this is the world tribe. Not that much. The examination will not focus here that much. Okay, so this is something that you can do. It is a factual document, that is why. But what I want you guys to do is that here this becomes very much important. This document is very much crucial in your preparation. Now when we talk on this particular document, what do we understand here is that here what I have done is I have created a list. Now in India there are, in India itself, there are more than 300 there are more than 300 tribes that are there. Okay, more than 300 tribes. The list is more. If I have to be much more precise, the list of tribes in India, it is more than 800. From the 800 tribes, from the 800 tribes, what do we understand is that 75 tribes, they belong to the particularly vulnerable group, particularly vulnerable tribal group tribes. Now here when we talk on these particular tribes, what do we understand is that these tribes, they are known for their particularly vulnerable nature. That means they have not yet assimilated, with the mainland population. That is why they are known as particularly vulnerable tribal group, and they are declining. So the government of India, it is focusing on preserving these particular tribes. And your examination, it will ask you questions from them. It will give you a list of 4 tribes and will ask you to list out which tribes are the PVTGs, that is the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Okay, they will ask you in that particular format. So here when we talk about the tribes, they are generally the scheduled tribes. That means the tribes that are the scheduled tribes. Now here when we have to talk on the tribes in India, because India, it is a multicultural, because India is a multicultural and a multi-ethnic area. So here we have multiple of these tribes, and each of these tribes, they are going to have a different living pattern. Now when we talk on these particular tribes itself, my dear friends, so here what can we start with is from the tribes of the, just give me a moment. Okay, just look at this. I have created a list of 200 tribes. In totality there is a list of 200 tribes that are going to be there. Now when we talk about the when we talk on these particular tribes, what we need to understand is that the list the list of these tribes, okay, though all the 200 tribes, they are not that relevant, but we have to find out the tribes that are there in the news. So once again, the thing that I told you from the current affairs, so whatever you do in the current affairs, what you can do is you can bring that whatever tribes are there in the news. For example, they can ask you about the Toda tribe. Okay, so when they ask you on the Toda tribe, what you can do is here what you can do is basically you can find the Toda tribe, search the Toda tribe, and you will get the details of the Toda tribe. Now what I've done is I have added that where this particular tribe is generally found, and apart from that, these particular tribes, what is that key fact of that particular tribe on which the examination can ask you a question. Okay, so in that particular fashion, I have created this document, and guys, trust me, if you do this particular document in detail, let any question be asked to you on the tribe, you will have that much of knowledge to find an accurate answer. Okay, and I am telling you this, you can actually do this. Just just read this document to the whole, okay, and correlate it with the current affairs. Now, if I tell you, my dear friends, let us just start with this particular document. The first tribe, it is going to be in the northeastern part, that is the Abhor tribe. Here you can also understand this through this fashion. Now see, here what do we see is that here this is going to be the Arunachal Pradesh area. This is the Arunachal Pradesh area. Now in the Arunachal Pradesh area, what is going to happen is there is going to be the Dafla, Meri, Abhor, and Mishmi. Okay, there is no space here, that is why my handwriting came. But Dafla, Mirhi, Abhor and Mishmi, they are the mountains that are there in the Arunachal Pradesh. So when these mountains are there in the Arunachal Pradesh, so in each of these mountains there is a certain tribal group that is residing in them. So the Dafla, Mirhi, Abhor and Mishmi tribes, these four tribes, they are found in the Arunachal Pradesh area because there are the hills. Apart from that, here there is the Naga hills. So the Naga tribes are found in the Naga hills. Here there is the Mizo hills. So the Mizo tribes, they are found near the Mizo hills, that means the Mizoram area. Apart from that, here there is the Meghalaya. You might have heard about the Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills in the Meghalaya, you might have heard about them. So the Khasi tribes, they belong to which state? In the Meghalaya. They are belonging to the Meghalaya state. The Jaintia tribe, they belong to which state? They belong to the Meghalaya state. So here what do we understand is that from the geographical level, we can actually demarcate it. Okay, so in my other lectures I have already spoken on the geography. Okay, so you can also look at those lectures wherein I have understood on the geography. Okay. Okay. All right. So here, okay. So Reeth, yes. What are you saying? There is no tribe in Kerala named. Okay. So see here, you will have to understand. In the modern day time, there might not be. Okay, but in the historical time, many of the tribes in the Indian context, they have become extinct. But the examination, it is not only going to ask you that which tribes are prevalent today. The examination can ask you that which tribes, means there is a historical connect here, because tribes and history, they have a very long way around. So some of the names here, they might not be prevalent today, But as per some of the books, some of the history books, there is going to be a mention of some of these tribes that might have been belonging to that particular area. So here, if you are telling this right now, okay, now see, it is the idea is that it was prevalent in that area, and it has been it has been mentioned in the books also. It has been mentioned in the reference books also. So if the examination asks you, then it's okay. If it doesn't, then also it's okay. So see, the context here is that the list needs to be there. The list needs to be there, and it is your duty to read it and my duty to tell it to you that you need to go through the document in this manner. You need to read the you need to read the content in this manner, so that you can clear the examination. Main agenda is to clear the examination. Here we do not need to understand it in this fashion, but our only agenda is that you become officers. Okay, so that is one thing. Now here what you can do is, here when you go through these particular tribes, okay, what you need to do is that you basically need to find out the areas, okay, the areas where they are found. All right, now here, for example, here when I talk the Abuj Maria tribe, it is found in the Bastar district of the Madhya Pradesh. And here the feature is that these people, they are the Dravidian speaking tribes, a subgroup of the Gonds, and they are the forest dwellers. Now here, do not do not correlate this with the South Indian languages. No, there is a there is a variety of this particular, there is the variety of this particular thing. Just see, do not go with this particular name and correlate it with the South Indian, with the South Indian languages. You do not need to correlate it with that. In the Indian languages, okay, in the Indian languages, there are four different types of languages that are there. Okay, there is the Indo-Aryan, there is the Dravidian languages, there is the Austric languages. Okay, so there are four categories of languages, and each of these categories, they have a unique mix. All right, so if here there is the mention of Abuj Maria, if here there is a mention of Abuj Maria, then there is going to be that here the tribal language, okay, the tribal language, do not pinpoint it with that. Just go through a read, and if it is mentioned in the examination, you just take it up. All right, so then there is going to be, all right, just a moment, tribal study student and also a candidate. Okay, yes, yes, taken Reet. Reet, okay. I will accept it. Okay, because you are a localite from there. I totally accept it. Okay. So if you are saying so, I will go through it back again. All right, and no worries to that. If you find it, you can just eliminate it from the document. All right, however, I cannot just go back right now, and then I can, I will, although I will go through it and I will recheck the document, recheck the name, I mean to say recheck the name, not the document. I will recheck the name. All right, and I totally accept it, Reet. Taken. All right, thank you for that. So yes, here what you need to do, coming back to my main point, is that you need to just locate the tribes, and apart from the tribes, what is the key feature of that particular tribe. The examination is only going to ask you this. There is a very, the examination is not going to ask it to you in the manner that, in a very big, in a very detailed manner. It is not going to ask it to you in that manner. Examination will only ask you that where is this tribe, what is the key feature of that tribe, or more or less they can ask you that if they have any tribal dance, if they have any tribal song, all right, or what is their cultural practice known as. They can ask it to you only this much. And if they are talking about the tribal, if they are talking about the tribal music or the tribal dance, okay, so it is very much less chance you mix the current affairs with the static document, because you need to prepare it in a manner the way the examination wants you to be prepared. Okay, you do not need to go much more in depth, because the more depth you go, you can do a PhD on this topic. But you need to have that much of information that is required for the examination. And here the examination, because on the basis of your examination, If it is an objective paper, you need to just read this up, merge it with current affairs and sort it. You are good to go. And you need to clear the examination. So just try to just increase your level of information. Whatever information you have, you just need to increase it up. Okay, so for right now we shall be keeping the class till this much, and in the next session we shall be having a much more detailed explanation on the next topic. All right, so I will get this document uploaded. Okay, and then you can find both the documents, and you can have a read, and you can go through the document, merge it with current affairs, and then you are sorted and good to go. Okay, so for this session I'll just keep it this much, my dear friends, and take care. Thank you for watching me and Olive Board. Thank you and Jai Hind.